Hello and welcome to the Tata Steel Chess Tournament here in Kolkata, India, where we're about to kick off the fast and furious format of chess. It's time for Blitz. I'm Tanya Sachdev in the studio with Lawrence Trent.
Hi Tanya.
Hey.
Are you excited?
I'm so excited, and what a rapid event we had, Lawrence, seeing Hikaru. It was, by the end of it, it was a total Hikaru Nakamura show.
It was. Hikaru ran the show, won the rapid effortlessly, actually. He converted his chances. Nobody really looked close to take him. But now we are moving on to Blitz. That is right. Blitz chess, guys. 5 minutes plus 3 seconds increment per move. We have got 18 rounds. We will not have a second to catch our breath, and neither will you. We're delighted that you could join us today. Of course, same as always, you can get in touch via the Twitch chat, twitch.tv/chess. We want to hear from you. It's going to be a blunderfest. It's going to be drama. It's going to be absolute madness, Tanya. But who have you got taking home the title today?
Well, tomorrow actually, because this is
right.
going to be, in fact, a double round robin, which means that players are going to play against each other with the white pieces and the black pieces. 9 rounds today, 9 games tomorrow, and we've got a new player with us. So very warm welcome to Ramesh Babu Pragnananda, who will be replacing Nihal Sareen in the Blitz portion of the Tata Steel Chess Tournament here at the Satyajit Ray Auditorium. The players have taken their places, and we're about to start really soon. Now, this is the man. This has been a Hikaru Nakamura show all through the rapid, but I have to say the first day was not that easy for him, but once he got on that winning streak, there is no stopping this guy. He is the legend of fast play format. In fact, he's the legend of BliTz, so maybe 5 minutes might be too much for him, Lawrence.
Well, he's also well known to be a brilliant Blitz player, not just bullet. He, I'm pretty sure, has got the highest ever rating on chess.com for Blitz. He is currently number 2 in the world, I believe, at on the FIDE rankings for Blitz. Sorry, he's number 3 at the moment. He was over 2,900 at the moment. Magnus Carlsen 2,939, Vasiliev 2,937, and Hikaru touching 2,900 in Blitz. So
he is at 2,893, which means that this could be the moment, this could be the tournament that he actually crosses the 2,900
for sure
mark. Now, this guy is definitely, if you guys are betting on someone, he is a safe bet, because this player can be a real beast on the board. And once, Lawrence, he gets on that winning streak, there really is no stopping him. So will it in fact be Suryasekhar Ganguly, who crawled back from the bottom at the very end of the rapid event by one of the nicest victories in the entire tournament that we saw against Vishy Anand? Will he repeat that and stop Hikaru Nakamura very early on? Who's your pick for the Blitz?
It's a good one. I'm not really. I mean, Hikaru looks the most composed. He would obviously be a safe bet, as you said. But you've got to remember that Levon Aronian is here, rated 2854. Absolutely brilliant Blitz player. We've got Sergei Karyakin,
yes,
the former world Blitz champion in 2016. He would be a great bet. You've got Mamedyarov, an incredibly strong Blitz player.
Levon Aronian.
Levon, as I said. You know, Vishy Anand, can't rule out the Tiger of Madras. You know, there are so many players. Wesley as well. I mean, there are so many players that can win this. I guess Pragnananda, you would have to be very optimistic to bet on the youngster, one of the youngest grandmasters of all time. But this is going to be a great experience for him. And having spoken to him, Tanya, before the round, he was just so excited, so thrilled to be here. He knows there's no pressure on him. He just wants to play some good chess, maybe cause a few upsets on the way. He's got no expectations about winning the tournament, but he would love to ruin the tournament of some of the other players.
That's what we're looking forward to as well. Like you said, Lawrence, Blitz is all about precision, speed, and often it's a blunderfest. Just like we like it, and just like you like it.
Yeah.
And there we have Prag against Hari Krishna.
Yes, young Pragnananda, there you can see him. Such a nice kid as well.
13 years old.
13 years old. He is a phenomenal talent, grandmaster already, and he's going to be a long-term fixture in Indian chess and elite chess. I'm sure he's going to get there as well. Here's Wesley So against Vishy Anand. They've played each other many times before. we'll see how that one goes. And Hikaru, just thinking about what is he going to do against Ganguly today. Many options. Is he going to go with his knight f3 and e3 and b3 stuff? He
enjoys playing like that, yeah. When we go short on the time.
Yeah. So the games are going to kick off any moment. Remember also, guys, that well, the games have kicked off. No time for small talk. And knight f3 has been played, d5 and e3. So he's going with his normal repertoire and c4. So he's been playing this a lot, played this a lot in the rapid with b3. A very solid, very decent repertoire. And the games will be on our screen very shortly. You can see in the bottom left the precise games. Actually, Surya played this, didn't he, already once? And we could potentially...
Also, what we're going to do is we're going to stay on this game.
Yes.
And if it tends to fizzle out, or if there's something drastic that happens on the other board, Lawrence, then we'll quickly jump to it, because there really is no time at all. We would like to, because we've had some very interesting matchups, and we'd like to go to all of them, but that's going to be a bit tough.
Exactly. So, all right. So we're going to stay here for the moment. Obviously, we've got a very similar position, actually, in the Hikaru game. I believe he had something similar earlier on in the Rapid tournament. The position looks very familiar indeed. Looks like a very solid position for Hikaru. Perhaps we can go to another game. And what's quite funny is Levon Aronian, who is playing against BliTz, is playing a line that Levon actually suffered a defeat in just a couple of weeks ago, playing black on the black side of this variation against Gawain Jones. And we have a position here where if we put the position on the board very quickly, something along these lines, c6 and bishop d3. This is exactly the game, Jones versus Aronian from Isle of Man, and here BliTz plays the very well-known move knight d2, which is a funky looking move, uncovering here the bishop here, attacking the queen. You have to take the knight, the bishop takes, rook e1, the bishop comes back to g6, and now the main move for white is to go knight a4 to try and pressurize down here and here. This is being analyzed a bit, but black is doing absolutely fine, so not really a huge huge problems for black there. We'll see how that one works out. I'm trying to see here, Tanya, which games are the most interesting. Hari Krishna against Pragananda. We should go there. Let's see how the young phenom is doing. We've got this position on the board, a 2 knights Caro-Kann. And, well, I love white's position here. I don't know about you.
It is really, black hasn't finished his development yet, and it's not very easy to see how, I mean, the knight can't really come to f6 because the g7 pawn hangs. Is he going to go, so he's just taken on d5.
Yeah, it's white's move. And white has played queen g4. That is a very Hari Krishna-esque move. Hitting that bishop.
You have to retreat to f6 probably. He's gone queen f6.
Queen f6, yeah. I like queen f6.
Because you also make way for a long castle.
Exactly. And sometimes you can hit the queen with knight h6 as well to get fully developed. So looks as though Pragnanda's doing just about okay. Maybe white is slightly better because the two bishops are strong here.
Is white going to go d3 here?
White could go d3. That looks very natural. Yeah, there's a lot of moves.
Trying to get the bishop to g5. He's gone d3.
Keep it simple.
And now you can't really go long castle because of this threat, so you have to be careful. And if knight h6, white could consider bishop trading off this knight and spoiling black's pawn structure.
Correct.
And both players keeping it even on the clock, and that is so important for BliTz to not fall back behind on the clock, because no matter what the position is, if you don't have enough time, you are definitely going to mess it up.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go back to our main board, Nakamura versus Surya.
Yep. Let's go there.
So we have the hanging pawn structure on the board, and yeah, these are really tricky positions to play.
Yeah, I think that Hikaru is being extremely clever again in his choice of, well, opening and the style of the position, the style of the game. He's the one playing against these hanging pawns. It's a lot more difficult to play with these hanging pawns because white can always attack them and you have to be precise when you defend them. That being said,
what black really wants in this structure is a successful d4 break, but he has to time it really, really well because otherwise he could just end up with a weakness.
Yeah, he has to try and get d4, but it looks as though Ganguly is doing just fine here. It looks as though he's got a perfectly reasonable position. I don't see a way for Hikaru to really put the pressure on at the moment, so we'll see. So he's gone bishop a3 and bishop a3.
We had a move
and
from
he played
rook c8, defending the c5 pawn,
knight e2.
And Hikaru insists with pressure. Yep. The point is that if right now, well, black can't anyway go c4, but anytime that black even does manage to get c4, the d4 square gets really weak. So often white is provoking black, putting pressure on these hanging pawns to make them move forward so that there are some weak squares. Knight e2, knight e4 on the board.
Yep. Yeah, and
Hikaru thinking if he wants to go knight f4, allowing the trade of bishop f4, he's gone back knight c3. Interesting.
Correct. Yeah, this is all about hopping around and not committing.
Hopping around, but if black goes knight f6, do you really think he wants to repeat with knight e2?
No, but I mean sometimes you've got to hop around and not commit in such positions, because as soon as you play a move like knight f4, if it's the wrong decision, you don't want to rush. You don't want to rush into things and commit. Basically, is what I'm saying. You've got to time it well. And doing knight f4 now, I think, would be a huge mistake. So I like what Hikaru is doing. I like the fact that he's just finding his feet. So I like it. Let's go to another game, Tanya. It's really heating up in So versus Anand. Let's go there. Wesley So against Vishwanathan Anand.
Let's get it up to date. And
we are up to date.
Yeah, we have this position on the board.
And what's going on here? Wow. Rook takes a1, rook. And rook c8. Okay. They are, well, we've got the wrong position on the bottom left, guys. Just bear in mind that is the Hikaru game. We are looking at So versus Anand.
So black has an extra pawn, but what are these pawns worth? Probably not much. I mean, white definitely has enough compensation for the pawn. I actually like white's position.
I love white's position.
Black does not have his light squared bishop to challenge white's bishop. If this d5 pawn falls, the position's just going to be over, and it's going to be a bit of a task for him to defend it. Let's go back to how Surya reacted to Hikaru's at least a repetition once. And Surya decided to, in fact, not go with knight f6.
Wow, we've had a huge change in the structure. Hikaru has won a pawn here, but at what cost? Hikaru is pinned. But knight takes e4. Brilliant move, exposing the fact that the knight on d7 is hanging at the end.
Was that just a blunder?
This is excellent. I think this is just over. I think it's 2 pawns to the good. Knight takes e4. If you take on e4 with the bishop, I take back. If you take everything off, then your knight... maybe you want to do it the other way, because knight takes... because knight takes c5 here, Tanya. Might be a problem. Take with the bishop, because then you've got bishop takes h7 and bishop f5. Yeah, you can exchange queens even first if you want, but this is also fine. This looks like 2 pawns to me. This looks like 2 pawns. Absolutely brilliant.
And I don't see any compensation.
No.
What did he just blunder with knight e4?
Well, maybe he missed it at some point around here. And this is what I was saying. This is where Hikaru is such a master. He just manages to... His timing has been on point this tournament. And that's always going to bring you good results. So I don't think this game is
particularly
interesting. He's massively up on the clock.
And we do have a result.
We do. And Mamajara versus Karyakin is a draw. Nothing really happened in that game between two very good friends. I think we should go back to the So versus Anand game. I think that's the most exciting of all the games. Pragnanda's holding his own at the moment.
So from where we left it last, instead of the knight on e6, black has got his king on e6 and to do exactly what we were talking about, defend the d5 pawn. And he's offered this exchange. Now you don't want to take this because black will be doing more than fine once he's able to get that. And we have a result here as well.
What happened there? I think was it a
draw? Yeah.
Wow, okay.
And the players look very happy with it.
Wesley couldn't find a way through. It seems as though Vishy had...
I like rook c4 a lot. You don't have the bishop to challenge white's light squared bishop, so you challenge it with the rook blocking all its play. And the players decided that they didn't want to go on or try for anything more, and it's hard to break for white now in this position. A very nice king on e6 holding fort. Let's go to Levon with it.
Wow, okay, Levon now pushing through with e6. This is a typical idea in these structures, using that e-pawn to try and bust open the king, or sometimes advancing it one square further to e7. And this position is, I would take white here all day in a blitz setting.
You see that pawn on e6 and you see that it's going to get dangerous. I think we all would take white here.
Yeah, and bishop e4, this is the move I thought Vidit would play. And actually this move is quite annoying for white. Yeah, white's king is also exposed here.
Perhaps taking white is not such a great idea.
Yeah. Well, he's going to take on f7. Okay.
Right. King f7.
King takes f7.
Knight e5 or?
Knight e5 and f3? Is that what he's going to do? It looks very shaky to play like this, because then queen h4 comes and all kinds of stuff can happen. So I don't know what Levon has planned here. Is he in a bit of trouble?
Maybe he wants to go knight
e5
on the board.
Okay.
I think it's going to be f3 next, because there's no... So you...
Okay, what's he thinking about? You've got to go back to g8.
You've got to go back to g8. He's gone g8 and f3.
And f3 has been
on the
played.
board.
And now the question is, does queen h4 work here? I would be playing queen h4 here.
It's such a blitz move.
Well, it might just work tactically. F takes e4, rook g3 check. You can't put the king on f2.
He's gone queen f6.
Yeah, but this looked like a winning move to me, queen h4. Unless I'm losing my mind. Let's go back here, Tanya. Queen h4, was that... What was going on here?
Maybe just queen g2, you know? Just keeping it simple.
In this position, queen g2? But then rook c2? Looks devastating.
Yeah, this looks bad.
Interesting. We'll have to ask Vidit after the game. He played queen f6. Queen came to h2 now. But this looks horrible for white. It's all gone pear-shaped. He takes on f3. Rook f1, rook e3. Black is in complete control here. Complete control.
This looks over for white.
Maybe not over, but really bad. And what's happened? There's been a mass number of exchanges. We'll get that on the board in a second. The bishop's come back to e4. You can see the position in the bottom left there. And black is simply a pawn up. Pawn up with a better position. Queen e7. Queen f4. I guess he'll play h6. Get some breathing room for the king.
h6 on the board.
Yep. And I don't see how Levon... Rook f2. I don't get that move. He just wants to stop rook c2, I guess. He's not worried about the check down here because it's covered.
That bishop on e4 is such a monster.
Beautiful
this
bishop.
looks...
Rook e8. Knight c6.
Queen d7.
Queen d7. Okay.
Knight d4.
Knight d4. And now he's stabilized.
Bishop g6 on the board.
Yes, I like it. Allowing
rook
the rook
e4 is a threat.
Yep. Allowing the rook to come in. I like it. I like how he's doing it. Vidit. And Levon in big trouble in the first game. Knight f3.
And we also do have a result on the Hikaru Surya board. Hikaru is
Queen e6. Yeah.
really in form here. I mean, he just crushed through black.
Precisely. And Levon in huge
trouble.
Yeah, huge trouble. Queen throwing the queen into the mix with queen c7. A bit of a desperado, in my opinion. Queen now came to e3, pinning. I like it. There are no checks. So now queen c6. Okay. Bishop comes to f7, nice and safe. Everything's protected.
16 seconds for Vidit, 10 to Levon.
And here we go. King f1, played very, very quickly. d4, surely. He played queen c5, trying to get the queens off. Also very logical.
Queen d7.
Queen d7, all right. Rook e7. And what have we got here? They're blitzing a tremendous place. Queen f5, and now finally d4, allowing this bishop to come in. Rook d2, and what's he going to do? They're playing just on increment, guys. My goodness, absolute carnage. Check, king f2. The pieces have come off, the queens have come off. Levon hanging on, rook e2 check looks devastating there. Bottom left of your corner, guys. And what about rook e2? Surely, rook a7, also good. Look at this, absolute carnage. This is the position he took. He managed to take the pawn off. This was terrible.
This is not going to be so simple now.
Well, this is probably not even winning
survive.
now. Yeah, he should survive now. Oh my goodness.
Vidit has just given away a huge chunk of his advantage.
And now we have a rook.
And now the c4 pawn falls?
Yeah, now this is just a draw.
This is just a draw.
Well, you've got to be careful.
No, the rook just moves away and you lose the...
Yes,
rook
but
c4.
Your king's on the wrong side
rook
of the
c4,
board.
rook b8.
Yeah, rook b8. Hold on a second. Is this so simple? King is now cut. King g5. Hari Krishna has beaten Pragnanda, by the way.
Rook b6. Rook b6 on the board. You're not going to be allowed.
No, this is very tricky. This is very, very tricky. Rook g8. The king's coming to h4.
Rook defends the pawn on h3, and now the king will come to c2.
Okay, but now my king is so beautiful here.
But I think this is fine for white, because I'm threatening king c2 next and coming in. And now he can attack the pawns as well.
I can go rook f8, rook f2,
and the rook attacks the pawns. This should be a draw, because you just don't have enough to... Rook comes back, king c2 is threatened, h5.
I'm not sure.
Takes and king c2.
Takes. Rook g3 is coming. Is this so clear?
King c2, come on, yes. On the board, rook g3.
Rook g2 check. You have to go.
King d1, and the king just comes.
Is it so
It's too close. The king is too close. I think, can he just...
Take. King
no, he can't take.
No, he can...
yeah, he can take. Just take on g3 and king e1 and it's a draw.
King g2, king e2, h4.
Yes, king
and
e2. And you're just in time.
Yeah.
What a save by Levon Aronian. He was really in trouble with it, shaking his head because he knows he's let go of a huge opportunity there. Completely winning position, but that's what's BliTz.
Yeah, a very, very disappointing result there for Vidit. I mean, he was completely winning. As you said, Tanya, that's BliTz. There are so many ways you can mess up. Yeah, and unfortunately for Vidit, that is a missed opportunity. Black against Levon.
Massive opportunity right there with the black pieces, with one of the best players in the world. Vidit is not going to be happy with that result.
No, and that means after the first round, we have got two decisive results. Nakamura beating Ganguly and Hari Krishna.
What a game that was, just complete. It was all an entire just Nakamura all the way.
Yeah,
so you really didn't have a chance in that game. Hari also winning a nice game against Pragnananda. Shak drew with Karyakin, not much happened there.
Yep.
Wesley Vishy, a very interesting game, but again, with that rook on c4 blocking out all play. Brilliant defense by Vishy. And Levon Vidit, that was a heartbreak for Vidit.
Yeah, I mean, you don't often get a chance like that, especially, you know, in these tournaments. If you get a black... winning advantage with black against somebody like Levon, you really have to take it if you want to win the tournament. So here are the results. As we've just said, good wins for Hari Krishna and Nakamura. The boy Pragnananda shouldn't be too disheartened. He's got plenty of games left, and Hikaru continuing in his winning ways. So here are the standings. Nakamura and Hari Krishna on 1 point. A bunch of people on half who all drew, and Ganguly and Pragnananda yet to get off to a winning start. Round 2 will be starting shortly. Yes. Very, very shortly. So you guys have got probably just about enough time to get a cup of tea. Tops. Maybe some biscuits. Maybe some... What else?
Well, that's about it, and just come back.
We will take a very, very small break. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Look above and see the light, stars and sunny skies. Share and spread the color, sparkling bright, and I'm in heaven. Oh, in heaven. When magic takes flight, dreams they come alive, making a world that only I can see, and I'm in heaven.
Tomorrow is shaped by imagination and steel. Tata Steel. We also make tomorrow.
Hello and welcome back. We're about to start with game 2 very, very quickly. Lawrence, what a miss for Vidit. Now, this guy has really impressed us with his consistent play in classical format, but he's still trying to figure out the shorter time controls and how strong he is. And that win against Levon would have gone a long way, and he was so close.
Close, but no cigar. You know, at the end of the day, you've got to convert these advantages, and he didn't manage to do that. The players are getting on stage. Remember, there are 9 Blitz games today. Here are the results from the first round. Just a quick recap. Hikaru winning and Hari Krishna winning. The rest of the games drawn. And we're going to have a look now at the round 2 pairings. Ganguly Karyakin, Anand Mamajarov, Vidit Wesley So, Pragnananda White against Aronian, and Nakamura against Hari Krishna.
I like that matchup.
Already a huge match because they are both the guys on top. So a clash of the leaders already after round 2. We'll be keeping an eye on that one.
And they both had a really good show in the rapid event as well, with Hari finishing 2nd.
Indeed. And what are your thoughts on this? You know, if Hikaru wins this one, he's already pulling away a bit.
And Prague up against another giant of chess, Levon Aronian. I mean, when Nihal started off with the rapid, no one could have predicted the impressive form that he showed, and I can't wait for Pragnananda. All he needs is that one good game to get that confidence and get started. Another very interesting matchup was Shianand against Shak Mamadyarov, and we've got Surya against Karyakin. Now, Surya has been really struggling this entire event.
He really has, yeah.
I think we should keep our eye on this game, Levon, and on this game, Lawrence, and then if it fizzles out, we can skip over it and see how Levon's doing against Pragnananda.
Agreed. What do you think? Nakamura against Hari Krishna? What's your prediction?
What I do know is that Hikaru really does get unstoppable once he starts winning game after game. And if anyone else has to do it, it has to be soon, because confidence really is everything, and we've seen him just win. With Hari, it's not going to be easy. Hari's a very solid player.
Yeah, he is, and Hikaru's
a very strong blitz player, in fact.
Hikaru's sticking to his guns. Knight f3, d5, e3. He's played this consistently. e3, knight f6, c4, and now Hari goes for c6. So not committing with e6. Is he going to go b3 anyway? No, this time Hikaru goes for d4.
Bishop to f5.
And we have a main line Slav, depending on what Hikaru does. Knight c3, e6, and knight h4. Been played many times before. Trying to get rid of this light squared bishop. Bishop e4, f3. The bishop comes back to g6. This is the reason why black plays bishop e4 is to provoke f3, which apparently doesn't help white in its structure. Queen to b3 and queen to b6. This has been seen thousands of times. Not the most exciting of positions, but can develop. Knight takes g6, h takes g6, and now Hikaru's got to decide how he wants to develop his pieces. Is he going to go with g3 and bishop g2? That's certainly one way. You can start with bishop d2, as he's done here. And Hari will most likely just play knight bd7. Maybe he'll take on b3. Not completely clear.
Let's quickly go over to the Levon game, because I see an f6 on the board.
f6? Ooh. Okay. Well,
this is interesting.
We have a Rai Lopez exchange variation. Very rare do we see that nowadays. Very interesting. Castles, bishop e7. This line here is a line that Mark Hebden, English Grandmaster, plays a lot. Very, very interesting line. One of the many options that black has. The pawn isn't on prise because queen d4 and you win the pawn back. And in fact, if you start attacking, it's been shown that white has got...
There really isn't anything on the e-file.
There's nothing on the e-file. Black can always block. So bishop e7 is a curious looking move. d3. And now Levon decides to play f6. Okay, so now the pawn was on pre. Bishop e3 and bishop g4. Knight bd2.
And g5.
And g5. Off we go to the races. g5. Levon making his intentions clear. And now b4 by Pragnanda. Knight h6 and queen b1. Very, very high level maneuvering here. But I like it. I love it.
So he wants to put the queen on b3.
Sometimes you want to put the queen on b3, indeed. Sometimes you just want to start opening some lines on the queen side. And you're saying to black, this is all a bit of a show. This is all not, this is fake news, Tanya, on the king side.
We have that all over the world. Why not here?
You can get fake news on the chessboard. This is just fake
He's gone
news.
for a4, b5.
There we go. I like it. Queen d7, a4, the knight came to f7 and b5. I love it.
Takes on b5 and rook a1.
Yeah, and he sacrificed a pawn. Now, is it enough?
But you've got queen a8. If you take on b5, queen a8, and at least you can win the pawn back immediately. Because
queen c8 and black holds
right.
everything. Ooh.
So
he took on what?
What just
this is brilliant.
Queen a1.
He took on c6 here. Intermediate move. Rook takes queen.
Takes on d7.
King takes d7, and now he took on b1. And if we do a quick count,
it's equal.
It's equal material. So this is what Pragnananda had planned. But of course, Levon has got a perfectly reasonable position here. He probably prefers his position. Similar kind of pawn structure, ironically, to the Caruana-Carlsen game from last night. Actually, almost identical on the queen side. Very, very curious. b6 now by Levon. And he's got the two bishops.
Rook a1.
He's going to try and outplay his opponent here with the two bishops. Although, I guess, with best play, White should be holding here.
White's got a good pawn structure, and he's got control over the A file. That's very, very important. And that weakness on b7 to waste time to play b6 so that White could control the A file, because if Black was able to get rook to a8, that would be domination for him.
Domination nation. All right. In the Nakamura game, we will go back there, because that is game of the round for sure. We're going to just fast forward to the current position. We've got this position here, and I guess Harry is very, very happy in this position. He's solid. Yes, White has got the two bishops, but he's got a poor structure here on the queen side. And without the queens on, not really much attacking chances. The bishops aren't really performing at their maximum level. So I guess that Harry Krishna is doing just fine here.
It does look okay for Black. I mean, there are no weaknesses in the structure except these two bishops, like you pointed out, and that just doesn't feel enough in this position.
Chat saying Pragnananda shouldn't be forced to wear a suit. I think he should be forced to wear a suit.
I don't think he is forced. I think it's amazing when players show up dressed professionally.
I do. That's what I'm saying. I think that, players in suits, I like it a lot. It's good for the image of the tournament. And he's fine, it fits him. It's not like my clothes, Tanya, that don't fit me anymore. Because, as you comment every day, I've put on tons of weight and I look horrible. But he's pulling it off, He's pulling it off. All right, we will go, this game, well, looks like Harry Krishna has really solved all of his problems here. All of these pieces lined up down the D file.
All right, let's quickly jump to the Surya Karyakin game.
Okay. And we have a position here which I guess Surya is going to be very, very happy about. Karyakin has played a bit of a passive line here, but this looks wonderful for White to me. Great bishop looking at this weak pawn here, center, zero problems. The big question is, how is Surya going to actually press here? Plays h3, useful move.
Bishop f8.
And bishop f8. And here, the only problem is that Surya needs a kind of plan. It's all very well and good playing moves like h3, but you actually need to do something. And he finally goes for d5. This is a very typical move in these.
Taking advantage of the b5 weakness, you can't really go c5 because b5 is hanging. And
so the big question is, after b4, do you now take on c6? Bishop takes c6. Something like this is very reasonable, but this looks like a good transition for Black. The knight can come to c5 in some variations. You've got to be careful about this. But
I've got this idea with queen c4 maybe in that position, Lawrence. So can I go queen c4 here?
Here?
Yes.
Wow.
So
wow.
And the f7 pawn. Let's just see. Takes on f7 and bishop f6. And you can't capture with the knight because of the... Yes.
Wow,
and
wow,
then otherwise
wow.
it's just mate on g8 if you
That's
take g8.
beautiful, Tanya Sachdev. That is beautiful. Well done. That's a great little spot. I wonder if Surya, I guess Surya has seen that.
And Karyakin's having a think here because he senses it. He's definitely seen it too.
I mean,
Karyakin could be in trouble.
Could be in trouble here.
In fact, I think he is in trouble.
Well, he's hand in his... Well, he's
He's
gone
gone
before.
b4. So what happens after dc6? Now, you don't want to take on c3 because after let's just see that line.
Or maybe
now you just take on d7 and you can't cap... Maybe this is the knight d7.
Maybe this is still okay.
He's taken on c6.
Okay.
And yeah, perhaps he has to take because this was a really nice line with...
Yeah, absolutely.
With he's gone dc6. If you
Well,
have
he's
to
having a
if you
think.
have to take back on c6, you have to take it with the queen, no? So he's gone for bc3
He took on c3. Yeah, he saw this line. So
and
c6,
take on d7.
Knight takes d7.
You
Precisely.
don't want to mess up your structure on the king side with queen d7, bishop f6, and take on c3.
And bc3.
Probably queen c3 should be on the board.
Well, he might think about playing knight c5 here also. There are a few ideas for black, but it feels as though he's doing fine, to be honest.
Yes.
Feels as though this is more than acceptable. So well done. Okay, let's go to another game. Why don't we go to the...
Hikaru Hari.
Yeah, sure.
Very interesting. So Hari has gone for a break on the king side, trying to just create some weaknesses in Hikaru's pawn structure. I have to tell you, Lawrence, Hari is a very, very strong endgame player. His technique is incredible. He's got that Carlsen-esque style going on where he just plays for a really long time and tries to play for small weaknesses and small advantage. And the number of games this guy has won from a seemingly equal ending,
Yeah.
too many to count.
Indeed, and we have got a result. Vidit against So that was just a non-event. That was a dull draw.
You get the feeling that Wesley has kind of not been feeling himself in this event. You know, he failed to impress us in the rapid, and he hasn't done much so far in the BliTz either. And Wesley really is that kind of player who needs a good start for a good tournament. Confidence makes a huge difference to him. If it doesn't start well, he struggles to find his form.
Yeah, a lot of the time he does. He had a fantastic 2016, 2017, won everything, got over 2,800, but been struggling this year, so not at his best. Now, what's going on in this position, Tanya? We've got f4 on the board. It looks as though Harry's in a bit of trouble here.
So the g4 pawn is under attack right now. So can I go knight e4?
Well,
So you just go bishop e3.
probably.
You can't take on g4 immediately because there was a threat of knight f2.
Oh, he's gone g3. Wow. Okay, g3, hg3, and knight b6. I like this decision by Harry.
Interesting.
He's going to try
Bishop
and...
f3, but it's just an extra pawn. You've got two doubled pawns.
Yes.
So it's maybe half an extra pawn.
It might be more than half, because this pawn here, even though it's doubled, is doing such a good job. Oops. I'll get these arrows. Controlling these two squares and dominating this knight.
Knight d5 on the board.
And knight d5 on the board. And, you know, this is going to require some decent technique by Hikaru, but...
And Harry's down to 19 seconds. Look at Hikaru's clock.
Yeah.
1 minute 44 seconds.
Plenty of time.
I mean, this guy
I mean, is he going to play knight f5
unstoppable.
here? Why is it... What, knight f5 is the first move you think of here? Bishop f5. He's gone b4, okay. b4, just kicking this knight.
Knight
into
d3.
d3. What is he trying to do, Hikaru, here with b4? Is he going to take on d5 now? Is that his idea? And then a move like...
Bishop c3.
Bishop c3 or knight f5?
b4 is hanging, so
He's
you
going
have...
to take on d5.
So he's
yes.
taken, and he can go knight f5. Oh, we just saw him signaling to Hari that let me just press my clock, and then you can make your move.
Is he going to go b5 here? Actually, that wouldn't surprise me at all either. If he just keeps this, because the knight, even though it looks good on d3, is actually in the firing line here.
Knight f5 on the
f5,
board.
and bishop f8.
Hari
and
playing
bishop
on
c3.
seconds.
And this is very bad news for Hare Krishna.
So if you take on b4 with the knight, he's gone knight b4. Does he just take on d5?
I guess he does, yeah.
Bishop b4, and it's probably going to be rook d5.
Yep.
Just a very healthy extra pawn for white. And it's 2 on the king's side. This is going to be very difficult to save. I don't see Hikaru messing this up with the time advantage and just a really very close to a winning position. Knight h6. Just wanting that knight on f6.
Yep. Knight g4.
Knight has come on f6, and now white always has to be careful with ideas of rook d8 and rook g8.
Yeah, this is a very famous mating net idea. Although in this position it doesn't quite work.
White can get g4, g5, and then it becomes really dangerous. This looks bad for Hare Krishna. Knight e8 is a threat on the board.
Rook c8 played. Rook to d7.
e6 is a threat. b7 is under attack.
Yeah, this is...
Knight to d5. It's looking horrible.
Well, you can't go e6 just yet.
Knight d5.
Knight d5 first. I like it. Nice and centralized. No, this is just over. Bishop c5 he'll play.
And what about e6 now?
E6.
It looks completely lost.
That's enough.
And that's it. Hari's had enough of this game.
And Hikaru out in front. Let's go back to the Pragananda game, but Hikaru with that.
He really outplayed Hari in that one.
Yeah, he really did. Let's go to Pragananda though. How is the youngster doing? He looks like he's in terrible shape here against Levon. 2 bishops.
Lots of weaknesses for white on the board.
What's going on here?
A pawn on b2.
A pawn on b2. Oh my goodness me.
We should just...
Yeah, we're going to get there in a minute, guys. Bishop d5. We'll get the exact moves through. Oh my goodness, g4. And here's the pawn on b2, and this looks
lost.
Completely over.
It looks over. That king is just stuck there, and black wins the e5 pawn, and Pragnananda resigns. A nice game by Levon Aronian.
Yeah. Anand versus Shakhriyar Mamajarov was also a bit of a dull affair with a draw. And we've got one game going on. Let's go straight there.
And it's
Surya
a pawn up against Karyakin, but is it enough?
Wow. This looks horrible for Sergey.
Oh, he's 2 pawns up. It's more than enough.
Yeah, this looks completely over.
This looks really bad for Sergey. Surya playing on seconds, but it should be enough. He can't mess this up.
Yeah. And it's just a question of technique. Can he find a way? He's got to keep his king safe, not fall for any cheapos. Queen e7, I like it, stopping any checks. That's a beautiful move.
Look at that queen on e7 and knight on e5. No checks along the
Bishop
g file.
b3. I don't see how you can even generate anything. Bishop e6, just holding on by the skin of his teeth here. Queen d6, queen g5 check, king f2, covering the d2 square. Lovely. Means he can't penetrate. Queen h4, king g1, queen e1, and bishop f5. Still no perpetual check in sight here. So he's only got a few seconds. Quick! Don't!
He has to make a move.
Knight c4, very random move there. But knight b6, this is clever. He's covering the long diagonal.
This is over for Sergey Karyakin.
Yeah, this should be over. You've just got to queen c2. He's holding. Queen e5. Okay. Now the bishop, the king has to go to g6. Knight into d5, and now knight e7 check is a threat. King to f7. He's still holding on, isn't he? Just by
queen e7.
Queen e7. King comes to g6. Must be very painful to play that move. Knight e3 now. Lovely little four. Queen c1. He's gonna go queen d6 check. Yeah, and that's over. Yeah, and a huge win.
Huge win for Surya.
Yeah, massive win, and that's a big blow for Sergey Karyakin, one of the big favourites, 2016 World BliTz champion, getting off to a pretty rotten start. Getting off to a pretty rotten start indeed.
Surya giving the local fans something to be choice about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Former world champion. You know, he's had brilliant result in BliTz, Sergey Karyakin, and this is a big win for Surya Shekhar Ganguly, who has been struggling in this event.
Yeah, yes, very bad start for Sergey Karyakin, only on half a point, plenty of games. It's an 18-round tournament. Pragnananda not yet able to get a half a point on the board, any result, and Hikaru Nakamura just breezing through. We can see the results here.
Really breezing through. I mean, 2 very, very convincing wins for Hikaru. Yeah, he's really in form here.
And we're going to get the standings up in just a second to show you guys that it is Hikaru Nakamura, pretty much actually similar to what happened in the Rapid, the way the standings are looking at the moment, because Hikaru is out in front, leading the pack, with Levon just behind him. So just like the Rapid, Tanya. Then a bunch of players
at 1
point.
50% for a lot of players here. Sergei Karyakin, a loss against Ganguly in the previous round puts him at just half point. And Pragnananda still looking to score.
Indeed, and that means, guys, that we will we'll be back very, very soon. But in the meantime, we're going to show a quick video for you guys, which
enjoy it.
Will be very entertaining, I'm sure. We'll be right back.
Oh no! Bero, Bero!
That was incredible.
Yeah, that's, I mean, when we tell people, especially when I tell people back home, Tanya, you're from India, so you know, you've seen it all before, but when I tell them Vishy gets mobbed like a rock star, they don't believe me.
But you know what's amazing is it's this city, it's not just Vishy, it's all these chess players. Yeah. They love this game, they see them, they want them. And what was beautiful about that video was that Vishy, when he was in the car, he actually asked, he saw all his fans, he saw all the love he was getting, and he actually asked the driver, the chauffeur, to stop the car so that he could spend some time with them.
Yeah, no, it's really nice, really, really nice. And the love here for chess, especially in Kolkata, is just huge. Yeah, absolutely.
Because this is also home. This was home to one of India's first big events, which was the Goodrick Open tournament, and you had top grandmasters from across the world coming to play. So this is a big chess hub.
Yeah, it really is. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. We're going to be back in about 5 minutes' time for round 3 of today. Don't go anywhere. It's been fun. It's been exciting. A lot more drama to come. See you soon. Hello everybody and welcome back. This is the Tata Steel BliTz tournament, the inaugural BliTz tournament taking place here in Calcutta. We've had the Rapid already. The BliTz has just kicked off. 2 rounds down, Tanya, and we have a clear leader already, and not really a big surprise.
No surprises there, Lawrence.
Yeah.
It's the man of the hour, the one who won the Rapid and who everybody knows is so dangerous in these formats. It's Hikaru Nakamura. Well, until now it's been the Hikaru show, but let's take a look at what are the standings, and then we'll get the pairings up as well. So Hikaru leads with 2, clear leader after round 2. Levon looking to catch up at 1.5. He's also shown some impressive. He had a very convincing game against Pragnananda. Shak, a bunch of people at 1. Sergei Karyakin lost the last game and he's at half, and Pragnananda still at 0. A tough tournament for him. We'll see what happens, and this is what's going to go down in round 3, which is about to kick off really soon. We've got an all-India matchup with Hari up against Surya, 2 good friends, but there are no friends over the chessboard, especially not when it's BliTz. Levon up against Hikaru. Now that is definitely our go-to game, Lawrence, with Hikaru as the leader and Levon really looking to snatch that from him with the white pieces. Yeah. Wesley, not been so impressed by his play so far, is up against Prag. We'll see what he does there. Shak against Vidit. Very interesting matchups all over. And Sergey against Vishy. Now Vishy, he's been drawing all his game. That's been very, very solid play. But I have to say, Lawrence, that's not really going to get him anywhere in the standings. We need to see more than draws by him.
We need to see his teeth. He's not won a game yet in this whole tournament.
It might happen now.
It might happen now. Let's see. We're going to bring the games up, and this is the big game, of course. Aronian versus Nakamura, the 2 leaders. Levon with white, he's going to be thinking, this is an opportunity.
This is his opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember, guys, I am watching the Twitch stream,
be nice.
The Twitch chat. Be nice
to me, not so much to him.
Send Tanya your love in the Twitch chat. Let's get a few less than 3s in the chat for Tanya. Let's get a few less than 3. You know less than 3? That's the emote for love on. Let's get a few less than 3s for Tanya in the chat. She needs some. It's been an absolute pleasure doing this, Tanya, with you. And we've got a full day and a half left. It's going to be great. Lots of action. Lots of love in the Twitch chat. Thank you so much. And remember, guys, to follow Tanya as well on... Yeah, did you just do the heart?
I just did the heart.
Okay. She just did the heart. Follow Tanya and myself on Twitter. That's where we make a lot of our announcements. Chess related and otherwise, mostly chess related. Sometimes Tanya's, tweeting articles of her fashion shoots and that kind of stuff. But otherwise, but otherwise it's chess related. Follow us at Lawrence IM and at Tanya Sexton.
All right, Lawrence, if you're done plugging all of that,
they're not even there yet.
We're about to kick off, and
we got to plug. We got to plug when they're not at the board. All right,
teammates, friends, face off.
Yes.
When a lot is at stake, and Hari is definitely with the white pieces going to be looking to forget that friendship for the next 15 minutes.
Absolutely. And here's the young man, Pragnananda, the wonder kid from India, one of the world's youngest grandmasters. In fact, he just missed out, didn't he? He nearly got the title of the youngest grandmaster of all time, but missed out by a month or 2. Phenomenal talent. Remember seeing him a few years ago.
The big game.
Yeah, this is the big game. This is the big game. And we're going to kick things off in just a second. I wonder how Aronian's going to open. Is he going to open with e4 again? Because he opened with e4 in the last game. Wouldn't surprise me. He's been transitioning over to playing e4 a lot more recently. But against Hikaru, he might not, because he'll think, well, Hikaru will just play some kind of, Hikaru would be happy with the draw here. So he wants to spice things up against Hikaru. I wonder if he'll play c4 or something a bit more exotic. And there we have Mamedyarov.
Don't forget, this is a long day. We've got 9 games of BliTz. We are in round 3, and really in this format, endurance and stamina is really everything. You're fine in round 3. You're okay with round 4 and 5, but it really starts hitting you then. And it's going to be interesting to see how these players hold up. And these 2 right in front of you are the ones who really know how to go through to the end of the day, keeping their abilities, precision, speed, and all of it. And here we go. D4.
And here we go. So he did start with d4, knight f6, knight f3. Okay, all been seen before. e6 and g3 by Levon. Okay. Now Hikaru going to play the move b5 here. That's normally what you do.
I feel like this is the first time that I've seen Hikaru actually have it think so early on in the game.
Absolutely. Now b5 is a really interesting move. Stops white going c4, and you can develop the bishop on a long diagonal. So that's why most players play c4 here. They don't play with g3 in this particular move order because of b5.
Hikaru's gone.
He's gone c5. Very interesting. And bishop g2. And now is he going to play knight c6, or is he going to take on d4 and then play d5? That's the big question. It's going to be one of the two. He's either going to come out here, or he's going to take. He could go d5, but then we get some Catalan positions. I think he's going to do something a bit different here. What do you think, Tanya?
I think knight c6.
You think knight?
He's gone for cd4, and he's going to shut castle.
And castles immediately, and d5. Yeah, very similar. Knight d4 and e5. This has all been played many times before.
This is such an active way for black to play.
This is almost like a reversed Grunfeld to a certain extent. And now the move bishop e6 is the most well-known move in this position. You can just go bishop e7 though. And black wants to play bishop e6, knight c6, protect his center, and claim. And queen d3 by Levon, a very Aronian-esque move.
Knight comes to c6.
What is queen d3 all about? That one I've not seen before. Does he just want to put a rook on d1?
Looks like it, because one of white's main ideas is definitely to put pressure along the d file on the d5 pawn.
Right. Very interesting concept there. We're going to keep an eye on the other games, of course, even though this is game of the round. Is there anything super spicy on the other boards? Not really. There's a very interesting game, Mamajara Vidit. We'll quickly look at that position, I guess, because Shaq yet to really get off to the races. Shaq has played a same-ish variation of the Nimzo and just said, you know what, I'm keeping my pawn. You're not having my pawn. I'm keeping it. It's all mine. But very difficult position to play this with black in BliTz. You can't develop your pieces easily. The
knight on e6 and c7 are a bit stuck.
Yeah, I like this
I like
approach.
it for white. Despite the king being on f2, it's actually not an unsafe king at all. Black often does also try to have moves like f5 and plans around that to just create some play in such positions. I'm also very interested to see this Hari Ganguly game, Lawrence, because I see Harry the h-pawn.
Harry the h-pawn.
Harry the h-pawn has gone to h5.
Wow. Look at this. He's just ripped this h-pawn up the board. No care in the world. Looking to open things up, weaken this square, checkmate the guy. But actually, it seems as though that Ganguly has got a perfectly reasonable position here. Bishop c2 on the board.
Against e4, that was a threat.
Yeah, but this looks absolutely fine. These two pawns standing majestically in the center, really restricting the movement of these knights.
I'm not sure, Lawrence. Bishop g5, queen d2, long castle could be a plan for white. And where is your king going?
Bishop f5.
Bishop f5 looks reasonable.
He's gonna
to trade off. Is he going to go long castle as well?
He is. He certainly is.
Bishop g5 on the board.
How dangerous is this?
So bishop f6 is a threat. Queen d6 against that.
Correct.
Also probably looking at going long castling.
Yeah, absolutely.
Queen d2 could be an option here.
Yeah.
He's gone for knight g3.
Forcing this bishop.
This is really nice because queen d2 would probably be a waste of a move because bishop c2 you again have to move the queen. This way he's asking black, do you want to take my bishop on c2, and then I just develop my queen in one move to c2. With the idea of long castle.
Yeah, these pawns are hanging pawns.
This position is going to blow up really soon.
All right. The Vichy Anand game, we got
a lot of people have been asking for that.
They want to see their hero Vichy, and this is the position against Sergey. We've got a Rai Lopez Berlin, and Vichy has decided to go with h6 g5 and knight h5. Very, very typical maneuver nowadays. And the question is he threatening to go here or here? That's the big question. That is the big question. And Sergey in the think tank, and he did go bishop f2, and he's got knight f4. Now this knight coming to d3 potentially. Sergey has to be very careful here. What's he going to do against this move? Not entirely sure.
I actually like Vishy's position.
By the way, I think we should... Yeah, Vishy's position is absolutely
doing well.
fine. Bishop to G1. And I can see...
A lot is happening on the Hari board. Let's quickly go to the Hari Ganguly game. So we had what we predicted, long castles, bishop f6, and now what? Is rook knight g5 on the board?
This looks terrible.
It looks really bad. Where is that knight on e7 going? How is he defending the h7 pawn? That pawn on h6 is 2 squares away from queening.
Also, knight e6 is a threat.
Knight e6 is a huge threat. Knight f7, this looks really, really bad for black. Surya shaking his head because he knows he's come under fire really early on.
Yeah, no, this is just over. This is just resigns. It wouldn't surprise me if Surya just gave up here because...
There's no play for him. There are absolutely no threats that black has in these positions.
Yeah, knight e6, knight takes h7 is just child's play for somebody of Harry's quality. He'll feel pretty bad about losing.
This is painful.
Moves. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we'll come back to this a bit later. We should, however, check out...
With our leaders.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've had some absolute carnage on the board. We've got this position.
Wait, what?
Well, it's just
so
2 rooks for...
No, it's not 2 rooks. It's rook and a piece, rook and a knight, and a few pawns. Wow. How many exactly? 2. So it's rook, knight, and 2 pawns versus queen. That is so interesting. That is super interesting.
But it doesn't feel enough for white after castles. I would take black here all day, every day. Or as they say, all day, day. Right? That's not how I say it, but you get my drift. Pieces are well coordinated. Very, very good pieces. These knights look a bit clumsy to me, to my eyes. Rook AC1 played. And rook D8.
It really doesn't look enough compensation for white at all. If black didn't have the minor pieces and a rook and it was just queen versus rook and knight, it would still be okay. But there's a lot of damage that this queen can do with all the pieces on the board. Hikaru looking really good, and look at him. He's an entire minute up on the clock. Does he think at all?
He does think. He just thinks
really
a lot quicker.
fast.
Yeah. King G2, Queen B5 on the board. I would hate to play this position with white. I can't move my pieces. I can't get some kind of momentum going. Knight B1, Rook takes D1.
White really wants to trade off as many pieces as he can in this position.
Is Hikaru just going to lock this guy off? Is it just going to lock this guy off?
He's gone for bishop b4.
Okay. Trying to restrict this knight, basically. Interesting move, bishop b4, by the way. That is outside of my vision, I have to say. Bishop b4 on the board. I think he wants to punt this a pawn up the board, to be honest.
a5, a4 looks like a very, very good plan here. And white also has to be careful because black is actually threatening queen a4 right now. You can't go knight c3 because of that bishop on b4. You can't push the a2 pawn because the knight on b3 is hanging. So queen a4 is a real threat on the board. Yeah,
I hate Levon's position, and he's down. He's really suffering. 1 minute 35. Rook c1 on the board. And Vishy in horrible shape as well.
And Hikaru has gone for queen b6.
Okay.
So what does he want?
He just wants to control some squares, but it doesn't feel like enough.
Queen b6, knight c3.
Hari has beaten Ganguly. Yeah.
We do have our first result. Hari has won against Surya Shekhar Ganguly. That was such carnage on the board for Surya. It was such a bad game for him. So rook c1.
All right, a5 on the board here. Let's quickly...
He wants to go a4 and grab the b2 pawn. I really think this is going to be a difficult position for white to defend. Yeah. He's trying to create threats.
Rook c5.